We have seen WWE play hot potato with championships before, right? In the past, they hot shot certain things, titles bounce from one person to the other. Not usually with people, though. But that is what they are doing with Lacey Evans. She has once again been moved. This woman's got more moves than a Rubik's Cube. They spent weeks airing these inspirational vignettes for her, promoting her return on Smackdown, and then one week, she walked out live in front of the crowd after being given this very bizarre heel-like introduction by the ring announcer, and then she was moved over to Monday Night Raw without any explanation. Never wrestled a match on SmackDown, had all those weeks of vignettes. They had to condense that down for the people who watch Raw. And she made one appearance in the ring for a promo. Her in-ring debut was advertised for Monday's show, and then she just never showed up. She wasn't there. Now, she has been moved back to SmackDown, where, according to PW Insider, she is expected to be a heel. We already got the commercial on Friday for the inspirational Lacey Evans returning to SmackDown this Friday night. Until they change their mind again and they decide to send her back to NXT. And then ultimately to the unemployment line. These people are just making it up as they go along. I'm sure the move back to SmackDown has something to do with Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out and scuttling whatever plans they had for Sasha and Ronda. But how do you explain the first move then, from SmackDown to Raw? You can't put all of this on Sasha and Naomi. They hadn't walked out yet the first time that she was moved. That didn't make much sense to begin with. Both shows could use more names in the women's division, but SmackDown could use her more, so why move her to Raw in the first place? So now she's been moved again, all without wrestling a single match. They want her as a heel, probably because they've got two babyface women's champions. Bianca's already got an opponent lined up for the summer. That should be Rhea Ripley. But Ronda Rousey is going to need people to play with. We know Natalya is next in line after winning the six-pack challenge on Friday. She's going to get the next shot. They haven't said when. Shayna Baszler is an obvious opponent for Ronda, given their friendship and their history together. There's always the potential Raquel Rodriguez heel turn. And then there's Lacey Evans. You know, we're still a month out from Money in the Bank. If she actually wrestles by then, she has to be the favorite right now, I think, to win the women's briefcase at Money in the Bank. Impact just lost two big names. William Morrissey, the former Big Cass, and New Japan's Jay White, who has been making appearances on Impact off and on for a while now. They're both gone. Morrissey spent about a year there. His appearance on the show this week was his last. He had a match with Wardlow on Dynamite in the build to Double or Nothing, so that could be a sign of where he may be headed next. He's been in the middle of a career resurgence after hitting rock bottom. He had his own personal demons and issues with alcohol, and he was in a really bad place. And he has gotten his life together. He looks to be in the best shape of his life. Impact was a good place for him, I think, to reestablish himself and show what he could bring to the table and that he could be relied upon. I think AEW has enough people. WWE could use him more than AEW can right now. He's got the size that you know they love. In the case of Jay White, PW Insider says it just comes down to scheduling. He's busy enough with his New Japan commitments that there's no way for Impact to use him consistently on TV. So for now, he has no future dates scheduled with the company. He's also wrestling Okada for the IWGP title at Dominion next Sunday. And Melanie Pillman, the widow of the late Brian Pillman and the mother of Brian Pillman Jr., passed away this week at the age of 56. No cause of death was given, but her son said that her death, quote, while unexpected, was not surprising. Her lifestyle choices that dominated the better part of the last 25 years of her life ultimately caught up with her. That interview on Raw with Vince McMahon the night after her husband died was not one of her finer moments. And it was not one of WWE's finer moments. I put the blame more on them than I do her. She didn't come across great on that dark side of the ring. special on Brian Pillman, and she was almost completely unrecognizable. When I first looked at her, I said, "Who is that?" When I found out it was Melanie Pillman, I was shocked. After all the years of her doing things, obviously, that she shouldn't be doing, I mean, you could tell that she had, she had seen some shit. But she did say, she said her one wish before she dies is to have her kids not be mad at her anymore. And Pillman Jr. said that he didn't have his dad in his life anymore, and his mom is all that he had left. And he had rekindled his relationship with her. Things looked to be better than they used to be. And he said he was very happy to have a parent still left on this earth. And now that parent is gone. So that's very sad.